Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Bill, I just want to say something. I could guarantee you, I have a solution, okay? Before you give your solution, I could guarantee you, if your pet is obese and you bring them to one of these festivals that I do, they will no longer be obese. And especially if they go into the mosh pit. Even me, like, okay, so I've been off tour since like October, and I think I gained like 10 pounds because, like, when I'm on tour doing these festivals, I'm like walking like 80 miles in a weekend and moshing. So that's my advice to the world. Bring your pets to a music festival if you want them to lose weight because they're obese. Now, that's probably not good advice. So we'll let the pet health guru give the good advice.
You are absolutely right. That is not great advice. They would not appreciate the music like you do. But
how do you know if they haven't gone?
Well, actually, it would depend on their energy level. If it's your pet and they have your same energy level, yeah, there might be some enjoyment there. But for the most part, their hearing is so much more sensitive; it probably drive them nuts.
What about your guppy? Do you think your guppy would like going to a festival like that, Juan?
I think they would. I mean, the water definitely filters out most of the sounds, so they would just feel the vibrations. I think they would enjoy that.
Nice.
It's like a day at the spa.
Is your guppy obese?
I think she's just pregnant, though. I don't want to be like, I don't want to assume anything, but.
Well, wait a minute. Are there more than one guppies in there?
There are, yes.
And they're different, genders?
Well, I haven't
I'm very
asked them,
hesitant to say that word
yes.
because people might attack me for saying that word. So it's like hard to come out.
Well, I don't know their pronouns, but I'm assuming yes.
Okay. I wonder if fish address each other by pronouns. My grandmother, she would get mad at me if I said she or he. You don't call people by pronouns. You call them by their proper name. That's respectful. Isn't that how you grew up, Bill?
It's exactly the way it was.
And your pets weren't obese, were they?
No, they were not.
So I just found the other solution. See? Maybe another bad solution, but okay, let's go on and give the good solution.
Yeah, obesity is a major issue in our pets today, and of course it follows the trend in should I say human beings? Is that proper terminology for what we are? Again, we have to watch that, but primarily the number one reason is the toxicity of the body between ultra processed foods, over medication, preventatives, all that stuff, and our chemtrail filled air, all those are absorbed into the body. Body doesn't know what to do with synthetics, artificial stuff, made up, man-made stuff. And so it starts, actually, I sometimes describe it a lot like, here we go again, women with shoes. When they fill up the closet with shoes, they never throw a pair out. They just make somebody build another closet. Our body's the same way with toxins. It's stored in fat cells. So when all our fat cells get filled up with toxins, we build new ones. And that's why when you go through a detox, most people lose weight because we can now burn off that fat that was in the wrong places.
I have to say before you go on that I have taken total offense to what you said because I have like 75 pairs of shoes.
Okay. So who built your extra closet?
Not a woman. But seriously though, yeah, it's like with humans too, man. Like you store this garbage in your body. Like I often wonder with humans. So At what point do you not realize how big you're getting when we go to the obese level? We're not talking about overweight. We're talking about obese, which is unhealthy. You know, how do
Yeah.
you not? I always think about that. How, like, listen, just like recently, like I'm going to Costa Rica on Sunday, and I'm thinking to myself, huh, I've been like in training to go because I've been, home since October, at least most of the time. And I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, yeah, I got to get back into my boxing weight, and I'm not big. Juan just saw me. I'm not
Yeah.
big, but like, so I couldn't imagine getting to that point with like, it's one thing if you were a kid in that way or you have some health condition, but if you don't have, but if it's something that you used to be my size and you turned into that, when do you not notice that? That always blows my mind.
It's a tough problem, that we all face as we get older, because the toxins are building up in the body. Our energy, when that happens, of course, it basically downplays our energy levels, so we're not as active. We're not hiking, we're not walking, we're not running. And if we do, it's shorter and shorter distances. Same thing with our pets. They get out on a walk with you, and they look up at you like, "Are you going to slow down and go home, or what's going to happen?" Of course, dogs especially, and cats, both of them, they're notorious for just sleeping all day long, so they're not getting high exercise. And then we leave this bowl, usually of toxic crumbs, down for them all day long, and they become grazers, meaning that they just eat a few pieces at a time. So it's one meal a day,
I want to
and
stop you
they
there.
do.
I want to stop you there. And the reason I'm stopping you there is what I was saying before. That's what I do. So when I'm out traveling, Jessica will tell you, she says it. She'll say it to the other siblings like, oh my God, when you go traveling with dad, you don't get to eat because there's never any time to eat. And I don't even think about it, though. That's the point. I don't even think about eating
Yeah.
because I'm too busy doing other stuff. But when I'm home working and not out traveling, and I'm home, meaning Florida, and I'm working, like I am grazing all day long and I seem to be hungry all day long. But when I'm doing events like festivals, like I go to these festivals working morning till late at night, and like I'm not even hungry till like probably 4 or 5 because I'm not even thinking about it.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that's very likely, and of course, part of the reason that they're grazers is they don't really like that food. It's like us with junk food, chips or popcorn or stuff like that. I know I have to watch that when I have to do any large amounts of driving because it's just boredom, So
Yeah.
you got to do something.
It keeps you awake too. Like I've done so many road trips where I've stopped and got snacks just to wake me up, and keep
Yeah,
going, especially in the days when I ate sugar, because then it would literally, I was just thinking about it the other day, is like you would literally take a sugar stop, get some
yeah.
sugar so you could stay awake.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, it's just and of course, all those snack foods that we grew up with, which were at least partially healthy or healthier, have now been replaced by more and more synthetics. I mean, the Reese's cup, peanut butter cups, that big controversy now with Hershey chocolate. There's nothing natural about it anymore. It's all synthetic. The peanut butter's fake. The chocolate is fake. What's the integrity of these companies? And of course, the same applies on the pet food side because they're using garbage as well. They're not using real foods. And again, it's just going to replace down your energy levels. It's going to uh, store more toxins in your body. And unless you do a detox, somewheres along the line, you're not going to be able to button those pants anymore. And then you're going to say, what happened to me? And I got to go out and buy new clothes. And, uh, unfortunately, our dogs and cats don't do that, but all of a sudden they jump up in your lap and it's like, oh my God, I got to do something here. Um, or they can't even jump up on the couch anymore. And that's
And
even worse.
to my point before of how do you not notice, like, listen, I notice if it's just a little tight, much less like it doesn't fit on you, or you have to do different notches on the belt. Like that should be a message to you, I would think. Do you know why
Most
it's
people,
not?
I think most people just blame the dryer and say like, "Oh, he shrunk all my clothes. Now I gotta go buy new ones."
Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's a part of it though too. But the cuts of clothing today too, they're all screwed up. I don't know. I've tried to do some shopping online for clothing, and a large shirt from one company is
Oh
completely
yeah,
different
no,
than a large from. It's
I
nuts.
won't shop online for clothes, man. Especially some of
Yeah,
these companies that pop up on your Facebook and stuff, and I'm like, no, no, no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. It's tough that way, and so you really you can buy even from the same company. You know, two pairs of slacks or shorts or whatever because we do mostly shorts down here in Florida, but. One you can button with no trouble at all. The next one is same size, same style, just a different color. It doesn't fit. it, either too big or too small. It's crazy.
It took me all show, Juan. Why didn't you say something to figure out my face was being covered up?
I liked it that way.
I bet you did. Uh, so I tried to switch us to see if that would fix the problem, not thinking that wouldn't fix it. I knew it wouldn't fix the problem, but I don't know what I was thinking. But you brought up another rant for me, Bill, just now. Thanks for reminding me. Yesterday, I was at the Lake Worth Street Painting Festival, and I was hotter than could be. Like it was 80 degrees out, and the sun was strong.
Yes.
Why are we in a third winter in South Florida? And I'm telling you right now, I wore shorts because I refuse to wear pants one more time this winter in South Florida. Just saying. Had to get that out.
I know. I mean, that there's your toxins again because of the weather modification. They're using chemicals and EMF, electronic, wavelengths to steer weather around, and they're using that basically to either boost certain communities or to destroy certain communities. And it's those powers to be. They've got technologies we don't even couldn't dream of. No matter how much we had to drink or smoke or anything
Yeah.
like that. But
I mean,
I mean, there's technologies out there. I mean, people don't realize that that's going on, but we were doing weather modification, basically cloud seeding going back into the 19 teens when airplanes were brand new. They started doing this stuff. But yet here we are 100 years later, and I don't think the government would do something like that to us, would they?
we have places like Dubai where like the rain is artificial. They use
Yeah,
drones to
Yeah.
create the rain.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I get complaints from some of my northern customers too that the snow doesn't melt; it feels like plastic. It's not real snow.
I have seen videos of people trying to jump into the snow, trying to like get buried by the snow, and they just hit ice.
Oh my God.
Breaks it just I've seen people like almost break their backs doing that.
Yeah.
So things are definitely looking a little bit different these days.
Oh, by the way, Bill, this weekend, a little recap on this weekend. Saturday, I was sitting on my balcony watching beach polo, and I kept hearing this name over and over again because I could hear it loud and clear. And why go down there if I can just watch from my balcony and hear it, And
Hmm.
I kept hearing this name. I'm like, holy crap. So I text Chad's sister, and I'm like, are you here? Because I don't know if you remember, Bill, but Chad's brother-in-law is one of the most famous polo players of all time. And
No, I didn't know
actually,
that.
yeah, he ended up having a really bad accident that was, he wasn't even supposed to survive, and he wasn't supposed to even be able to walk again, much less play polo. What's interesting about that is Chad's father was a very famous polo player, and he got into a bad accident and ended up having brain damage and eventually and couldn't walk and stuff and eventually died.
Mm.
I so basically Julio Ariano, which is Chad's brother-in-law, his kids and Megan, their kids, both play polo. So it turned out I was hearing the name. It was the boy, Chris, Chad's nephew, and but she wasn't there because she was like, "Oh no, Hope's playing over in Wellington." So Chad would be very proud looking down because he loved his nephews to death. Okay,
Hmm.
and so it was kind of a weird moment for me right there. Like hearing that name, it was like, it's kind of weird. It kind of hits you weird. I can't believe
Yeah.
even Chad's been gone that long. It's been a while now,
Yeah. Yeah. It really has been.
right?
And we could only wonder what this show and my show and all would be like if he was still around.
Right?
And because we started the whole thing.
Yep, yep, totally. So I had him run this station for 3 months before anybody knew it was a station. And we would sit there and he'd go, "Do you hear that?" And I'm like, "No." He goes, "We need to fix that." And I'm like, "Okay."
I remember those days in the studio. Yes.
He would hear
Before we
shit
did all this
like,
remote stuff.
yeah, exactly. By the way, I was going through stuff because we moved studios and I'm getting getting stuff put up on the wall. I was going through stuff and I found pictures of me, you, and Chad with Gertrude Maxwell
Mm-hmm.
and
Yep.
the
That's still floating
articles and
around on my
stuff.
Facebook page. That's still
Yep.
floating around on my.
But I mean, I have actual paper version
Uh
stuff.
huh.
And then we can call it one of the shows we were broadcasting live in the very, very beginning with me there and you're there and Chad was there at the table. I think it was like Palms West Fest or something like that. So
Yeah, it was one of
that just
them.
happened
I think you
last
did
week.
one in Pompano too.
Yeah.
We did one.
And we did all those pet expos too.
Yeah, exactly.
The good old days.
Yeah,
I,
yeah. Setting up in the morning and tearing down in the mid
I,
afternoon in a
I,
hot
I,
Florida sun.
Well, that's what I was just gonna say, but I don't do them anymore. So as I tell you, uh, like they were the good old days. Let them stay the good old days.
Yes,
But anyway,
absolutely.
so why don't you tell all the listeners how they can listen to your podcast, view your live show, check out My Paleo Pet, why they should check out My Paleo Pet, and everything else they need to know to not only make sure their pets are not obese, to help them if they are, to prevent it before it happens, or any health condition that your pets may have.
Well, my paleo pet is essentially evolved, if you will, into a complete type of healthy store. Farm to table on proteins, raw dairy, and eggs, things of that nature for humans and for our pets, both of them. The pet stuff, of course, is formulated in predetermined recipes so that we don't have obesity. They're species appropriate. And all the herbal products that they carry, again, for health, for detoxing, for all kinds of different issues, health issues. We can handle all of that for you. So it's a one shop stop, if you will, for your health needs. Of course, to back that up, I have the Pet Health Cafe, the podcast here on these same stations, on YouTube, all over the place. And we disseminate a ton of information. And we've been doing this we're in our 18th season, if you can believe that. And it's, every week we try to bring a different perspective. Quite often it's on the same topics, on food and health and that sort of thing. But like this week, I will have Dr. Michael Dim on. one of the most renowned homeopaths in the pet industry and the animal industry, discussing some of the chronic problems that we're having with our animals besides obesity, but the skin problems and the ear problems. I mean, this is all the body trying to cleanse itself, and yet the bulk of the market out there is still feeding highly processed foods, ultra processed foods that contain mostly chemicals. And so if you tune in on Thursday nights, 8 o'clock, you can go on YouTube, Facebook, W4HC, all these different outlets, and share it with everybody, because we're all going to be facing these types of problems if you have pets during your life, and people themselves are going to probably be facing tons and tons of problems with their health. I mean, I just want, when you watch TV, you turn on or even on the computer, the number of ads for medications and the problems that they're trying to basically manage is phenomenal. I sit there and go like, well, I've never had that. I've never had that. I feel neglected sometimes. I never catch anything. It's like, but then again, my diet comes from, and my clean living comes from my paleo pet. So stop by and see us.
Absolutely, or they can't listen to my show. So, do you have any final words about obesity?
Feed that species appropriate diet. Stay away from the carbs and the sugar, as you know so well. That's the first starting point. All these foods contain things we know nothing about. I mean, I saw a piece on social media just this past weekend about all the chemicals that are in just common table salt in the processes, and it's like it's everywhere. It's just everywhere. People don't realize that table salt has sugar in it.
That is the stupidest thing I ever heard.
I saw a bottle of Himalayan salt that says, this salt is millions and millions of years old, but it has an expiration date.
That's I know. I love that one too. I joke about that all the time.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.